It's Luke and Naomi.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Happy episode 33.
3-3. I like
33.
it.
It's good. I like the number 33.
Really?
I do. It was a good age,
All
and
right.
I liked it for sports reasons, of course, but 33. I dig it. Let's
All
do
right.
it. Good review coming up. That's going to be fun. Terminator 2. We jumped into the 90s.
That's right. Switch it up a little bit here.
Yeah, so other than that, not a ton going on. Thankfully, I guess, we're still sort of on the mend from being sick. You can probably still hear some nasal in both of our
Probably a
voices.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I sound nasally or stuffy or both or what have you, but I know I do.
Yeah, you're not back to 100% yet.
Every day on the air, I'm trying to do the whole deep voice.
Oh,
Hey,
so
it's
you
me.
don't sound bad?
Yeah, I'm talking down here because so you don't hear it through my nose at all. Now I'm sitting in my chair and comfortable, so you're gonna hear it a lot.
Yeah. You've already done all that work earlier today trying to
That's right.
mask the sound, so
Standing up, diaphragm open.
all that good
Now
stuff.
everything's all crunched up.
Yeah.
Professional like.
Yeah, that's right. Real professional.
So we had some fun on Sunday. Went over to our friend Tom's house, Tom
Yeah.
and Jennifer.
They
And,
take care of us, man.
It's the food.
They always feed us, and they feed us good. Tom got, what is it, like an outdoor pizza oven?
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah, that's like a thing now. It's a big popular type thing to get. They must have just shrunk them down so we can have them in our backyards.
It's amazing, though. Like, I want one of those. He was just making a whole bunch of pizza and just leaving them on the tables
Yeah,
for
here you
all
go.
of us
Here's another
to
one.
just grab. I ate so much pizza.
Yeah.
By the end of that, I'm like, I really did not need that. Like, that was the most food I've eaten in a while.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. I'm really not.
It was the best part of Sunday because I had to watch the GD Eagles win and head to the Super Bowl. I just
Man, you had a hard time with that sentence, didn't you?
so much.
Yeah.
I'm used to not saying that so nicely.
Yeah.
At
yeah.
all. So,
you did filter very well. Congratulations on that.
Their stupid doofus of a head coach. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel over there.
You don't even know what this guy looks like.
No,
do you?
I have no idea.
I'll show you. You'll be
I
like,
don't pay
oh,
attention to that stuff.
I get it. Okay.
Well, some of it I do. Like Kansas City, their coach looks like a walrus,
Yeah.
kinda.
Andy Reid. Yes.
Yes, I do know that. I think that's the only one I know of what he. Oh, I know what the Patriots coach looks like.
Oh, Belichick. Yeah, of course you do. Of course
because
you do.
I've seen his. No, we gotta try harder next time. No, I don't want to answer that.
These are the.
No, it's fine.
Of course, you've seen a lot of the more popular and winning head coaches and stuff like
Yes,
that because
correct.
there's football on all the time, so you
Yeah.
just can't escape it. But anyway, Chiefs and Eagles. That interesting matchup there. A couple of first time two black starting quarterbacks and the first time brothers will face each other.
Yeah. So I saw the picture of the mom
Yeah.
going around on Facebook where she's got the jersey that's half Eagles and half Chiefs, which
And
was cool.
It's a different kind too, because a lot of times you see those where it's half and half split down the middle. Hers is like front and back, but with one sleeve each.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so I like the way that was done. So that's kind of neat.
too.
And the brothers thing is cool. And,
Yeah, absolutely. I was hoping the Bengals were gonna make it just because I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted them to win more.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed with that.
I don't know. I was gonna say if the Bengals went, I would have picked them to win, but I mean, they didn't get to the Super Bowl, so I can't.
Yeah. So you can't.
Well, they would because
No.
they didn't even go. So anyway, but they were a good team this year too. I was rooting for them just as much as I love Mahomes and the Chiefs and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and I got nothing against them. I don't know what it was. I just wanted to see the Bengals go to the Super Bowl
Something
instead.
different. Well,
Yeah,
I mean they
think
were
that's
there
what
last
it
year,
was.
but something different anyway. So Chiefs and Eagles, 2 weeks.
That's right.
Well, 2 weeks from 2 days ago when we were recording this.
That's right.
I'm gonna do that math.
Yeah.
And now I'm cross-eyed.
No.
So that's gonna be fun.
Super Bowl time.
Yeah, we'll have to start planning our Super Bowl menu and all of that junk.
Are you going to be taking that Monday off like you do every year?
No.
You're not
No.
doing that this year. Is this the first year that you're not doing that?
I can't tell you that I remember ever taking a Monday off.
You always take the day after the Super Bowl off, don't you?
No.
Where have I been?
I really should. I mean, we did a show together for 2.5 years, and we got two Super Bowls in there at least.
I guess I didn't count that.
And I was there.
Wow. Oh.
Get up, go to work on Monday.
How,
Now, here's the thing. If Dallas ever goes back to the Super Bowl, which, probably not till I retire at this point, but if they ever do, that will be a Monday and possibly a Tuesday off.
Okay.
Because, bender
Beverages.
either way.
Beverages.
Full-on bender either way. Win, lose, or draw. It's
I am
not going to be
just
pretty.
shocked. Maybe I thought like when we first started dating that you would take that Monday off. Because after you said no, we worked together. I was there Monday morning. I'm like, yeah, actually you were. So where the heck have I been? Brain fog is a real thing.
I guess
guys. I'm just blown away.
I guess I've always advocated for it to be a national holiday.
Yeah.
Nobody's productive on that Monday.
Oh no, definitely not.
Even people who don't watch the football at all are not productive that day, just because.
It's like the middle of the beginning of February. We're all tired from winter.
Yeah. So looking forward to the Super Bowl anyway. The big game, the big day. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Even though you'll have to work Monday, like you always do.
Well, I have to work, but not long after that, we're gonna have our cruise. We've got that coming up.
Our cruise!
Absolutely have cruise fever. I'm trying to fight it as much as I can. Like, let me get to the end of February. Let me get to damn February.
Listen,
it's the 31st when we're recording.
We did really, really good because we talked about it when we first booked it. We had that, oh my gosh, we're going on a cruise, and talked about it for like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a whole month. And then we've been quiet about it. So yes, cruise fever can definitely come back. We are less than 60 days away from it. Let's start planning and partying.
When you put it that way with the less than 60 days, because 2 months is like, it's 2 months. That's fine. That's a lot of time. Less than 60 days is like, damn, that's going to be
It's getting close. Compared to when we were booking this, it was 9 months away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, now is the time to start thinking about it.
Yeah, we booked this a hell of a long time ago.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it is cruise fever all up in here.
Oh, it's been bad.
I mean, Naomi's been just far worse. I am pretty, like I said, I'm fighting it, but I'm still pretty bad. But you've been just...
So the cruise has an app, of course, because everything has an app. So I logged in, created an account, all this stuff, and it just pulls everything up, and it was really cool. I could see, I could book excursions right then and there, sitting on the couch for this. And then it tells you, your ports, and it shows you the layout of the ship and everything. It was really cool. I was lost on it for about 5 hours. No joke. 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Because then it starts getting into pricing for things as well. So I was looking up, we could do dinner at this fancy place. It's $99 a night if we'd like to do that.
And just like that, the cruise that's supposed to be for my birthday is already planned.
No. You'll have decisions that you can make.
Yeah, what clothes I wear that day?
Sure, absolutely.
Probably not that either. Yeah, yes. This is... it's your birthday. It's it's your trip.
Listen,
it's your,
you can plan excursions and stuff.
You've already told me 4 things that you're absolutely doing, whether I like it or not. So it's like, what if I wanted to do something else?
Well, you can, but I'm gonna go do this.
Exactly. Yes. You do you.
Yeah. Yep.
Peace out.
No. Listen, I am getting a massage on a cruise. I don't care.
I don't know what your obsession with that is.
This can be your birthday, and you can do whatever you want, but I am getting a massage on the cruise.
I have heard this so many. I don't know why. It's
because I need one, and it's available on the cruise.
You could get one tomorrow.
I could.
And just be done with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
but I'm not about doing it not even on the islands either, by the beach. No, it's got to be on the boat.
Yeah. Absolutely. There'd be downtime on the boat. We're on the water for a day and a half before we even see land again. So it's a good time to have a massage.
I guess so. I appreciate that it makes perfect sense in your mind.
It does.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'll have one too. I'm not saying that I won't or anything like that. It's just, it's been funny because you've been just fixated on not the idea that we could swim with some dolphins or anything like that.
Which is also cool.
A damn massage on the boat.
Yeah.
Which is also cool.
And I'm down for swimming with dolphins. It's just the massage thing is that just has to happen.
Absolutely paramount.
Yeah. Number 1 on the list.
I have heard nothing less than just massage.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's It's what's important to me, that massage.
Oh man. So yeah, we've got cruise fever going
Can
on
you tell?
like crazy. If
Yeah.
if anybody's got any cruising tips, and not like the things that are obvious, if you've been on a bunch of cruises and it's like, hey, I know some secrets,
Yeah.
definitely want to hear those.
We just found out about the rubber ducky thing where people
That's weird.
always hide rubber ducks all over the cruise. You put a little tag on it that's saying, you're in luck, you found a duck or whatever, some cute little thing, and then where you're from. And then the person who finds the duck can take a picture with it if they choose to. They can take it home and keep it, or they can re-hide it. And, it's a legit thing. There's a
Crazy.
whole Facebook group dedicated to this, and it's just people who bring like 40 of these ducks to hide around cruise ships, because some of it's fun for the kids, where gives them something to do. You go find the ducks, probably keeps them entertained for a while. But then you see people who had no idea about this, and they're like, hey, I found this on my cruise ship, and it said to post a picture and tag this group. Cruising is like a whole different world. There are people who are just like cruisers for life.
Yeah, we've seen that more and more as we get into it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So if we do have, if there's any cruisers out there among us,
Let us know.
all the the tips. I want to know like the coolest insider stuff we can find
And
out.
don't tell me that massage is going to cost me a fortune. I already know.
Oh, she knows.
I already
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
They
we've
did
looked.
not.
She said the pricing is mentioned, so I'm sure you already know.
The pricing is mentioned on like a whole bunch of stuff. We're talking like the expensive $99 a person dinner if you want to do that and all that kind of stuff. The spa packages do not have pricing on them.
All right, so you still don't care.
It just tells me that it's going to be super expensive.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you go to a restaurant
If you
and
have
they
to
don't
ask.
put the prices, you know that's going to hurt your wallet. You know it.
Yeah, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah,
So
so I'm not going to ask.
You can pretend
I'm
like
just,
we're rich.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting my massage.
All right, if you get,
Yeah, so
can't
don't tell
pretend
me
every
that
now and then.
don't tell me that massage is expensive. I do know that. That's not a tip. or
Also,
trick.
yeah, that's not an insider tip either. That's just,
Common knowledge.
a good guesstimate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But definitely would like any kind of good insider info would
Yeah, absolutely.
be much appreciated.
No.
Much appreciated. So totally forgot to, not forget. We just, the days get away from me. All of a sudden it's the day before we're going to record, and I never put up a topic for our this episode
Ah, okay.
for in between. I didn't put up any homework.
Shame on you.
But
We talked about that too, I feel. Like, hey, are you going to remember to do
we
that?
did.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah, sure.
got zero help, just like we talked about.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Well,
but I did post the best meme I've seen in a while. And yes, I posted it.
Yes.
Yes.
Luke posted it. It was not me. It was not me trying to pull one over on everyone. Of course it was Luke who posted this.
So Brandon Epler says, is this the topic we were supposed to be looking out for? He says, I would say the educated guess is Luke, but it feels like a trick.
Yeah,
Which
it's not a trick.
A lot of people were trying to beat the curve there,
Yeah.
It was definitely me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it has your name written all over it.
Ernest says looks like something Naomi would post, but that's just Ernest being a wise guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know I didn't post that.
My mom knew it was me. Our
Yes.
friend Jennifer says, please take the phone away from Luke. Greg says, Naomi blaming it on Luke.
Nope.
Yeah.
All Luke, 100%.
And Brando knew. He just wanted to hedge his bets there too.
Yep.
So it's in case you haven't seen it.
First of all, if you haven't seen it, go on over to our Facebook page and check it out.
That's right. And give us a follow too while you're there.
Yeah.
Luke and Naomi on air. If you haven't seen it, it says Uranus looks like a star. I didn't think I was gonna. I thought I was gonna be able to get through this without giggling like a
You
dingus.
said 5 words.
There are rings around Uranus. The wind from Uranus blows at 512 miles per hour.
Strong winds.
Uranus was once explored, never again.
No.
There are dark spots on Uranus, and Uranus is tilted sideways. Let's get right off of that because
You're done?
I just
You're done?
Yeah, so
Yeah, of
you
course
can see
you
it.
are.
See the infographic for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it that infographic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love it.
You're a child.
I love everybody. Tried to I don't know, hedge their bets by going, nah, maybe it's a trick and Naomi did it and
Nope.
she's blaming it on, because,
Nope.
I could see
Would
that
not be
happening.
me.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's do random facts for the week, and we'll get going here. Your weekly dose of Did You Know? These ones were pretty okay. Did you know the University of Vermont is referred to as UVM, but it doesn't stand for University of Vermont?
Okay.
That would be weird. VM. I don't know. It stands for the motto Universitas Viridis Montis, which is Latin for University of the Green Mountains.
Okay.
There you go. If you ever go northeast, then you know.
Well, I mean, Vermont is the Green Mountain State, so there you go.
Boom. Did you know Pixar animated 20,622 balloons to carry the house in the movie Up?
Really?
Yeah, even ones on the inside of the balloon, thing, bundle, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, yeah.
The giant bunch. So basically, they started on the inside and just animated them out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just kind of mind blowing. There, it's pretty neat.
A lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. Did you know that Will Ferrell, from Anchorman, Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
his dad was a musician with the Righteous Brothers?
Really?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you what song the Righteous Brothers sing, but if you were to play one for me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Righteous Brothers.
Yeah.
So yeah, Will Ferrell's dad in the Righteous Brothers.
You know how many, how much it comes up where, a famous person is a child of another famous person, and it's like, no way,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were, related. Or, when it became common knowledge that Dolly Parton is, the godmother of Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
When I first heard that shook me. I'm like, no, that's not true.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is. It's pretty crazy. And then, of course, Hollywood's going off all about, well, not Hollywood. Some people are going off about the whole, nepotism thing in Hollywood. But it's like, yeah, working as in your parents' profession, that's not, that's as old as the hills.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of stupid
it is.
to complain about that. Anyway.
And especially with Hollywood. I mean,
yeah.
Your parents have the connections already. It's just how it's going to be.
Hey, you know why my cousin's a great carpenter? Because his dad was a great carpenter.
Yes.
I'm not as good as a carpenter because I didn't grow up around that.
Yeah.
Same thing with actors. Not
All
necessarily doctors. Maybe.
That
That's a gray area.
Yeah.
Did you know scientists think bananas were domesticated more than 7,000 years ago on the island of New Guinea?
Didn't know that's where, but I heard there was... Is it domesticated or something? Because bananas used to be, full of seeds and stuff like that.
I've never heard that.
Oh,
That's fascinating.
I've heard it, but I heard it online, so I didn't know if it was true or not.
Yeah. You got to deep dive that one.
I didn't, so,
For
just
sure.
spreading rumors at this point.
Broccoli was not actually a plant. That was domesticated through manipulating mustard.
Really?
Yeah, some form of mustard or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's another deep dive for you right
Ugh.
there.
Mustard? And broccoli?
Yeah, that broccoli came from some ancient form of mustard. We've been messing with it for a long... Just like dogs, you know what I mean? Crazy, right?
I need a minute.
Yeah.
I kind of need... That was a more interesting fact than any of the ones you've gone through already.
Yeah, right. Well, I got one more here.
Okay.
Did you know to save money during World War I, Woodrow Wilson got rid of the groundskeepers of the White House, kept a flock of 48 sheep on the lawn to chew the grass?
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's a good one.
And then they sheared the sheep and they took the wool, sold it at auction to raise money for the Red Cross.
Oh, wow.
Pretty genius.
Yeah.
I feel like if we tried to do stuff like that, and just nowadays, everybody would be like not having it. But it's such a good idea.
And apparently it's worked before, so
yeah.
Why not?
I mean, it's frugal, it's practical, whatever. Anyway, that is your daily dose, your weekly dose of Did You Know? And a quick one here that apparently has officially become official. The King of the Hill is coming back.
Ah, yes. You're excited about this.
Very much. And I had seen it somewhere else, and now it's come across from a couple of more sources, so I know it's definitely official. All of the major players from King of the Hill, all the voices, of course, except for Brittany Murphy, which is a bummer,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Tom Petty too. So, but the whole Hank, Peggy, Bobby, Boomhauer, well, of course, that's Mike Judge's voice too, but Bill, they're all going to be back.
Cool.
So, yeah, there you go. Did you know King of the Hill's coming back?
Another show to add to the list of things we need to watch that we won't get to.
Oh, we will get to King of the Hill.
All right.
We will absolutely get to King of the Hill.
Yeah, I figured we
I'm
would.
a big fan of King of the Hill. And so that's random facts for the week. Your weekly dose of Did You Know? Like I said, I got this other one here too. I love this. This lady stole a whole bunch of chicken wings. How many chicken wings do you think you would have to equal $1.5 million?
Chicken wings?
$1.5 million worth of chicken wings.
$1.5 million. I don't know. You got to be close to 1 million chicken wings, right?
Something. So here's the rub, as it were. 66-year-old Vera Liddell was the food service director at a school district in Illinois, and she stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. Right, so she'd been working there for at least a decade, but during the pandemic, she started over-ordering chicken and picking it up herself in a district cargo van, and then, of course, never brought the chicken back to the school.
Right.
Nobody knows what the hell she was doing. It hasn't come out yet.
That's what I'm wondering, is what are you doing with all these chicken wings? Were you, cooking them for you and your friend and just eating a whole bunch of chicken wings?
Yeah,
were you selling them back to somebody?
I wonder if she was selling them to restaurants or, has a restaurant or something like that where she was trying to double dip or something like that. Really,
but $1.5 million.
$1.5 million. Yeah. So nobody knows really how long she's been doing it. They say whether she got caught during the pandemic or that's when it started. I'm not exactly sure. She ended up being caught because she was ordering so much. And here's the thing. Criminals are stupid. The school never served chicken wings to the students because they had bone in them.
Yep.
And some kids just don't know how, it's just avoid the whole thing like peanuts.
Yeah.
So
bad call on her for that one.
I mean, I could see if it was chicken tenders because the school would serve chicken tenders or something like that, but the chicken wings.
Huh.
$1.5 million worth of chicken. That is a lot of chicken wings.
Here's the thing. She got away with it for a long time. She would have had $1.5 million. That's not one truckload of chicken wings.
That is not a cargo van full. Well, maybe it is a cargo van full of chicken wings, but still. Holy socks.
Yeah. Yeah, she should have done chicken tenders. She probably would still be stealing them chicken tenders.
Yikes. To get to $1.5 million? Oh, boy. So there you go. That's just, I had to get that one in there. Just a crazy thing I saw and was like, hey, chicken wings.
That's right.
You know how much blue cheese you need for $1.5 million worth of?
Gross.
Oh, fine, ranch.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Ralph sent us a video of a person dipping an entire pizza into a bucket of ranch.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That sounds delicious.
No.
I'm definitely here for this.
The video is so off-putting.
An entire pizza into a bucket of ranch?
Dipped into the bucket of ranch, and then they took it out and put it in a pizza box, and they're going to send it to... No.
Yeah.
No. No thanks, Ralph. Swing and a miss.
I'm sorry, Ralph. He's wrong. It's okay.
Gross. I spilled some water over here, and now it's all I can think about. I'll get it with my sleeve. Okay. We do have a topic for this week.
Okay.
Some homework.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
We do. We have some homework for this week. Naomi loved this one.
I do. This is a great topic.
So here we go. I got to look for it now. I've totally lost it. Okay, close that. Open this.
You're terrible
over
there.
The King of the Hill thing came across, so that's where it went. All right. The topic this week, what's your old person trait? And I don't mean like, you got wrinkles or something like that.
Yeah, because we all got those. We don't care no more.
Yeah, the gray hairs are starting to show up in the beard that's driving. So we're not talking about that.
No.
All right, so here's a couple of examples to get the ball rolling. My old person trait is that I think a website should work in a web browser and not try to open up in an app.
I am definitely down for that. I hate
when
I go to something and it's like, here, download our app so you can view this. And it's like, no, I don't need to see this. I'm out of here.
How about this? And I agree with this one. My old person trait is I think video games should work without needing access to the internet.
I like that one, yeah.
I mean, I'm on the fence with that one a little bit because I've been downloading games instead of having to buy and have the physical copy, which I kind of miss. But at the same time, I don't have the clutter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's my big thing. Get rid of that clutter. But, if you... I don't know. Sometimes you just want to play a game, and if the internet's acting all goofy because we rely on it for everything, then you can't play all of a sudden. That's not cool. I'm not here for that.
That is not cool. Here's another one. We're going to get the ball rolling. What is your old person trait? I think I should be able to talk to an actual person in order to resolve issues with my bills without having to wait on hold for 30 plus minutes.
Ooh. Don't get me started on
Yeah,
that one.
because there's 11 roads I could go down with complaining about that one. Like, get more people working there, stop having, one company for the whole entire world, because then I
Yeah.
can't get through because now everybody's trying to call them at once.
And then the
All
one
of that.
person that you've got there has to try to handle 18 million issues, so they have no idea what I'm actually talking about and having a problem with. And then they send me to somebody else who doesn't understand either, because, they're supposed to be working the IT department, but they're short-staffed, so now they're taking customer complaints. Like, no. I need an actual human being who knows what they're doing. So you need to be fully staffed and no more robots figuring this stuff out. No.
But don't get you started.
Don't get me started. My old person trait would be that I still don't trust email.
There. I mean, you just started ordering the stuff online like 2 years ago.
And I barely do that, I've gotten comfortable
don't
enough to
trust
order
email.
stuff for like Christmas, but that's like the only time I ever order anything online. The rest of the time I'm like, nah, I'll just go to the store. That part too is more of the instant gratification. But yeah, I don't trust email still. I still get worried. I send a lot of emails at work and I'm just like, I hope they get this. And I just leave it at that. I hope they get this. Like, okay,
That's
so
hilarious.
speaking of that, and that's,
That is terrible. That is just, that's
No,
hilarious.
we sat down to start recording and had a few minutes while Luke was getting a few things together.
Doing all
And
the
I'm
work.
like, yeah, basically. Not even basically. Yes, doing all the work. So I went to refresh my email because I have not checked my email all day. So, you pull down on the screen, let it refresh. And so it said updated just now. Last email I got was 7 a.m. this morning. You know how much spam I get? There needs to be at least 20 emails in there. And it's telling me, no, you don't have any new messages.
Naomi says, bullshit, I didn't get enough spam.
Well, not that I want the spam. I'm just saying that, like, no, I did get emails. This is not correct.
And
so now I
the
haven't
email
gotten
was
those.
correct, right? I haven't gotten all my spam.
Listen, you know how much spam mail you get.
Oh, it's
you
terrible.
know? And then it's supposed to be like easy to just unsubscribe, but it's not.
Junk mail never quit. It just got worse.
Yeah.
Because now we get physical junk mail and the spam. So
We get both, yeah.
anyway, what is your old person trait? That's the homework for next week. Send us as many as you want. If you don't have to come up with just one. The list is fine. I look forward to seeing all these. A lot of people going to do some complaining about. I'm sure the social medias.
All of technology.
All of tech. It's basically first world modern problems is what we're talking here. But
I like it phrased the other
I
way,
do too.
though.
What is your old person trait? What is what's the get off my lawn of 2023 for you?
Oh my
Looking
gosh.
forward to that. Again, Facebook page. That's where we're gonna do our answering.
That's right.
I ain't gonna try to send anybody to any other newfangled.
No TikTok this
But
time.
Mastodon. That's where we're going. That's where you don't know what that is?
I don't.
It's the new Twitter. Everybody's gonna jump ship from Twitter and go to Mastodon.
I am not learning any new social
It's
media
amazing because
things.
I remember the migration from MySpace to Facebook,
Me too.
and that was like, we all just kind of was like, yeah, I'm moving over to Facebook,
Yeah.
and that is gonna start happening with Twitter within the next year or so. And it's just weird to see happen again. Because when nobody left Facebook and went just to Instagram. Everybody kind of, because they own and you can, dual post and all that stuff. But
this is the first time since then that it's going to be this huge jump of people.
Yeah, and it's
like,
just,
instead of this,
it's
we are now
fascinating.
using this, all of us.
Super, super fascinating. So
I'm just not here for it. I'm so done with just all of it. I can't keep up. And I even try to, I'm like,
I do
what?
too.
I haven't posted in a while on Facebook. I should put up an update. I've got family on there and stuff. Let them know I'm still alive and okay. And then I go looking through pictures. I'm like, nah, I got nothing to post.
screw it, they can text me.
That's right. You can reach out to me if you want to talk.
All right, so yeah, anyway, go on the Facebook.
That's right.
Luke and Naomi on air on Facebook. If you can't find it, just if you search Luke and Naomi on air, if you just Google that, you should be able to find
You should find something.
all of our stuff.
That is us.
I'm pretty sure we were just with Jennifer the other day. She go, I'm going to do it just for fun right now.
Okay.
How do you spell your name?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's our browser, so that probably doesn't
That doesn't help.
hurt
Yeah.
there. But I mean, you should get our YouTube and our Facebook, like, and
Everything's
then our Apple
there.
Podcast. That all
Yeah.
should, like, the top 3 hits should be our socials and all of that stuff, just in case you don't know.
Yeah.
But that's where you can leave the comment. What is your old person trait? What is mine? I repeat everything 11,000 times.
That's right. You do.
I do.
It's a good old person trait there.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, so that should bring us to dun-pa-da-da. I forgot what I was going to say. Our Under a Rock review for the week.
Got some brain fog over there, too?
No, honestly, I started thinking of how I was going to edit the sounder into...
nice. Were you deciding whether to keep your ba-ba-ba-da thing that you just did there?
Should I do it before or after that? Because that was pretty mediocre. Do I follow that up with something better, or how does it? And see, that's where I went. And then all of a sudden, I forgot that it was called Under a Rock Reviews. Thank you.
And that you were in the middle of something.
Thank you for joining us for the latest one. Hopefully, you just fast forwarded to this part and missed all the rambling.
No, I like the rambling. Listen to the rambling.
Listen to the rambling.
Yeah.
All right, so I shouldn't put markers on the episodes of where you can.
No, you have to sit through our garbage to get to the good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got to hear my thoughts on the Eagles doofus head coach.
Plus, you need the topic for the week and all that. Your
The homework. That's right.
Yeah. You can't skip that. Got to do your homework.
That's right. What's your old person trait, in case you're just joining us, which
That's right.
isn't a thing because it's a damn podcast. I still have that radio, format. It's
built into your
so
brain.
Built in, yeah.
That you're just joining us, possibly.
Yeah.
No.
So, all right. This week, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, as
Terminator
it is officially
2.
called.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a little quick backstory here. So, we obviously have been doing a lot of 80s if you've been following right along. And after Ghostbusters, all right, let's get to the 90s. Let's start doing some 90s movies. We've got more 90s movies on the list coming up and all of that. But I wanted to jump to Terminator 2. Naomi was like, well, I just don't. I'm sort of weird about watching the second one without seeing the first one.
Yeah.
And I've seen the first one a couple times. It is just not great. Terminator 2 is the one of the series.
Yeah.
So I gave Naomi the basic backstory of Terminator 2. By the end, because of the time loop thing, her eyes were just crossed. Just, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
They explain it all in Terminator 2. So before we even jump in, do you feel like you got the storyline from Terminator 2?
I completely understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Naomi's Under a Rock review of Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
So I started this too by saying Luke filled me in on the storyline. So I would kind of have an idea what's going on.
I just want to explain, because I know we did, and nobody's missing like a whole episode where we did Terminator 1, because we're just not, we could go back later on and be like, hey, see how bad this was? And,
See, and I don't think I want to waste my time doing that.
Exactly.
Like sometimes every once in a while someone says, oh, that movie was so terrible, it's just not worth it. And you're like, well, I kind of want to watch it now just to see how bad it is. This one, no, I do not have any interest in it. Whatever. So yeah. Anyway, Terminator 2. Luke said it was fine. I don't need the first one. Explain to me what happens in the first one. So we sit down and watch this. First thing I noticed was they really like showing scenes of destroyed playgrounds. That was a common theme throughout the movie, but especially in the beginning. First, it's like, metal twisted and destroyed, and then, you've got your opening scenes with like the names coming across and all that, and it's a merry-go-round on fire.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
And other playground equipment burning and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, setting the tone very well here. I'm glad they did explain a little bit about what's going on in the opening. 2 people are sent back for John Connor, and it's just who's going to get there first, the one sent to destroy him or the one sent to protect him. So you know what's going on right away.
Right.
You know the plan of the movie so that they don't have to talk and explain that to you throughout the movie, which, come to find out, they do that a lot anyway throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Where the dialogue is kind of filling in the holes, and a few monologues are in there too. All right, next note I had on here, that fight scene right off the bat, where
Oh, in the bar.
yes,
I
so
need your clothes,
yes.
your boots, and your motorcycle.
and that's exactly what I wrote down, because
It's such
that
a
is
good
what he
scene, man.
says. The worst part about that, Arnold throws that guy into the kitchen and he lands on that flat top grill. So he's like knocked out and then wakes up because he's like burning. So he woke up pretty like almost instantly. And then he's trying to get off of it when he puts his hands down and he just keeps burning himself. It was like, that was
worst, right?
horrible to watch. And I'm like, whoever, like, I don't know if this was a writer who wrote in this kind of description, the director who told him to act this way, or just the actor himself. That was really well done, because that shook me a little bit. It really did.
He's a Terminator.
It just,
You know?
it was awful.
This evil robot who doesn't care. I mean, he's not evil in this one, but still,
Yeah.
cyborg who just
And just
no
threw
feelings.
him, but I just that poor guy, that was brutal. That was so brutal.
absolutely love the compassion.
It was brutal. All right, so then we get to John Connor, and I found out how bad of a kid this guy is.
Yeah.
Just he's got shoplifting charges and like trespassing and all that, and then he's like really mean to his foster parents and all that, and
She's not my mom, Todd.
yeah, like the attitude on this kid, and
It
then
was
he
the
gets
early 90s.
still.
Kids were assholes in the early 90s.
Oh man, and he gets worse in this movie. He made me so mad.
He's like that late Gen X, early millennial, combination kid.
He was just
you
awful.
You were hoping T-1000 caught up to him, huh?
I wouldn't have been against it at this point. Like he
I
was
love these
just
reviews.
a brat.
She scolds Wyatt Earp.
I'm mad
Hopes
because
John Connor dies.
he was a brat. And then he's stealing money. He's
the
got
ATM thing.
Yeah, the little ATM
Oh my God.
thing, which was really cool.
There is not a kid that I know at the time who didn't want to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
like the
God.
coolest thing.
Yeah.
But
Thievery.
that's still bad, And then like he stole like what, $300, and I'm like, really? All that work for $300?
There's
Like,
a limit.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You've used
yeah,
an
I guess you're right.
ATM.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. I was just like,
And
man, I would have been.
$300 in '92 or '1 or whenever that came out. That's like $1,000.
Still, I mean, you're talking about being in big trouble for theft like this. You might as well go big.
I know it.
That's all I was getting at.
Yeah, you should have robbed 4 different accounts.
That's right. That's all.
Use your head, kid.
So the Terminator cop guy, definitely really creepy.
The T-1000, Robert Patrick.
Man, he did a great job.
He is famous for it.
It was so well done. Like, just the way, like, there'd be, like, a delay, and then he'd turn. And it looked so robotic. Like, you would think that the whole thing was special effects and all that.
Robotic, but also that the fluidity in his movements compared to Arnold, where his
Right.
was more because he's
Rigid.
the liquid metal
Yes.
one, and he moved more, and it was, and
But
you're
still,
right, yeah.
that robotic feel that you knew, hey,
Yes.
there's something up here that's not human,
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, really well done. The music and sound effects were really intense. That was well done, too. I am a firm believer that music and sound effects is what really takes a movie to the next level. I think that's why Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, whatever, the one with the Joker, Heath Ledger.
Dark Knight.
Yeah. That one. I think that's one of the reasons why that movie's so good. Yes, that movie is great, and of course Heath Ledger does a great job and all of that, but the music and the sound effects in that movie just take it to this, unbelievable level. And I think with this movie particularly, like, that's what helped make it so good, because like, you just the right tone and all that makes it from, instead of, okay, something's going on here, to you feeling that something is going on here. So they did well with that. Off on a side note, Pepsi Can we talk about Pepsi for a second?
Yeah, I love Pepsi.
Did they fund this movie? Did the writers,
Oh, this
director...
is early days of product placement, like paid product placement.
Okay.
Early days.
Okay, because Pepsi must have paid some money, because what the heck? I felt like it was purposely there everywhere.
I think there might have even been some sort of cross promotions and stuff like that at the time.
The Pepsi Cola sign in the bar in the beginning, the guys drinking Pepsi at the lab, and I mean, like, full on, you can see the label, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that, like, nowadays places, you know, have learned to either hide or completely cover up.
I have seen that movie 1,000 times, and I have never noticed.
Oh my gosh, it's all I could notice was just how much Pepsi was everywhere. When the Terminator show up at the arcade where John Connor is, there's a big Pepsi vending machine right there. And it's like, I felt like it was everywhere. Was a little distracting there. Or
that
maybe I just
scene.
pay attention to that too much. I don't know.
That arcade scene is awesome, though.
Yeah.
Because of all the old games. You know, the Afterburner game. I'm pretty sure it's Afterburner he was sitting in when, you know, the kid tells him to take off. But that I remember playing those. They were fantastic.
And then Terminator cop guy coming in and just like pushing kids into the wall, grabbing them by their head and just dropping them. I'm like, well, that's...
Killer robot.
Yeah, but definitely something you see in 80s and 90s movies compared to movies today. Yeah, movies today, they kind of just, you know what happened, but they're not going to show them actually, like, you know, shoving a kid into a wall by his head, you know, just saying. Then we get that intense chase scene.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic chase scene, too.
Which is fine.
The Harley, the giant wrecker.
Yeah. And it was interesting. Definitely went on longer than it needed to.
Oh, man. Classic chase scenes went on forever, didn't they?
Yeah, but it got to the point where it was just like, okay, like, either catch up to each other or do something, because this is just, you know, I'm legit getting bored of this chase scene. Like, this is going on too long.
I love this.
And then, of course, at the end, there's an explosion, because what chase scene doesn't end with a giant explosion?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So I'm not going to lie, I rolled my eyes a little bit at that one.
You got to establish that the bad guy can survive giant explosions.
Yeah. No, I just assumed, because he's the bad guy, you know, they usually can handle almost everything until the last scene, of course.
You've been watching a lot of bad guys, you know. This was early bad guy.
Yeah.
So, not everybody was used to the bad guys having such power.
I guess.
Except for Vader. That's why Vader
know.
was so popular. All right.
So, I thought the writing was done pretty well to fill you in on, you know, everything that's going on, especially after not seeing the first one.
Yeah.
You know, there were just things that were mentioned that were like, oh, okay, and they, you know, tie it back to everything, so you know. So again, if you didn't see the first one, it didn't matter at this point. It was explained without making you feel like you're stupid and that it has to be explained to you. More of just like helping push the story along, which I liked. You know, you always get that one movie where it's like, listen, I can fill in the holes myself, but they're still like explaining it to you like you're a moron.
Yeah.
And then it just kills the movie. And I felt like they somehow found a great balance between explaining a lot to you without it making you feel dumb.
Yeah.
So I did like that. All right, so right after that, Terminator, John Connor on the bike, and he's like, I gotta pick up some things from my house, and the Terminator is like, negative, the other Terminator will try to acquire you there. Again, the writing, very clever with that. Not necessarily the whole negative, you know, whatever. You hear it throughout the movie, and it's like, okay, whatever. But just the other Terminator will try to acquire you there. Like, okay, yeah, I could see that robot using that kind of term for that. Instead of get you, pick you up there, whatnot.
Snatch yourself.
Yeah, basically, you know. They didn't put that chip in so he would talk like that, I guess. I don't know. But I thought it was well done. I liked it, you know. I thought it was cute.
That, of course, leads to the phone booth scene.
Wait. Before the phone booth, though, doesn't he get into the fight with...
Oh, yeah, that might be before that.
I believe so. Because that was the top of the line. John Connor is a jerk.
Oh, yeah.
Is terrible. Okay. So, the Terminator grabs him. You know, he's got his arms on him, whatever. So he starts yelling for help. Finds out that the Terminator has to do what he tells him to do. So then, like, two guys come up to help because he was just yelling for help. And, like, this creep is on me. Somebody help me, you know, freaking out. Two guys come up, and then John Connor's just, like, telling him to take a hike. And then tells the Terminator to pick up the one guy. And then the Terminator is picking him up
by his hair.
by his hair. This guy was trying to help you. You were yelling for help. And now you're being a jerk.
Yeah, he's
now,
a pretty bad kid.
Yeah, again.
But he was raised without a mommy. That's what happens.
No, there is no excuse for that kind of behavior. I am sorry. At that point, I was really like, you know, I know he's not going to die and all that. It's, you know,
Of course.
this story is going to have a happy ending.
He's the main character.
Yeah. But, man.
And Furlong killed it. Eddie Furlong was so good in that role. It was like Carlton Banks. He didn't get any other roles.
Just man thinking about it.
He's the savior of the world, you know. He's the leader of the resistance against the machines.
That's fine and all, but that doesn't excuse that behavior, you know?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Gosh, it was awful.
And watching her watch that scene was about as cringe as you could be.
I was so mad.
It was great.
Okay, so then I believe is the phone booth scene, or the phone booth scene was before that. I don't remember.
Either way, it's right around there.
Yeah, and that was well done too.
You like that?
You know,
that's a classic.
He's saying my foster parents are never that nice.
Yeah,
you know, on the phone.
Something's wrong. She's never this nice.
Yeah, which at first I thought I really thought like, no, you're just a jerk kid. I legit believe that he was just being a jerk. But when they did the whole, you know, what's wrong with Wolfie? And that's not the dog's name.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, oh, Wolfie is fine.
Your foster parents are dead.
Yeah, like that. It's just like, you know, all of a sudden, it's not like, oh my gosh, we got to get over there. They may be hurt. It's, no, they're dead. Yeah, they're dead now.
And then the reveal.
Yeah, that was an intense scene. It really was.
Very cool.
Yeah, well done.
It's such a great... See, this is why Terminator 2 is so much better than the first one. I mean, none of that. And you get some pretty cool stuff with, like, him being the robot and whatnot, but not like this. This was really, really good.
And that's the
especially
problem.
In 92.
And that's what turned me off to all the Terminator movies. Is because, first of all, we all know how I feel about robots and AI and that kind of stuff. So I'm not really... This isn't my go-to movie. And as much as I can deal with, like, an action movie and all that, like, it's got to have other things in play to keep me entertained. Because again, the chase scene was good for the first 2 minutes. After that, I'm bored with it and I don't care anymore. So, like, action movies are very iffy with me of whether I'm going to like it or not. So I was never interested in watching the Terminator movies because it's robots and action, and that's it.
Yep.
You know.
I hear you.
So I forgot the whole point of all that.
You like the story and the elements therein.
Yeah, you know, and the way certain scenes and things were done were enough to, you know, hold my attention, or, you know, have that suspense or little twist or whatnot, where it was like, oh, okay, I actually didn't see that coming, you know. Next note on here is just, what the heck, that creepy little guard guy in the mental institution licking Sarah's face.
Oh, when the dude licks her face.
That was so gross.
Because she's pretending to be catatonic and whatnot, and he I guess was trying to see if she really was or whatever. But yeah, that is, every time I watch this movie, as that scene approaches, like I'll get up and go to the bathroom and let it run.
Yeah,
It's just so weird.
yeah. I don't know.
I guess James Cameron was trying to highlight the idea of abuse within mental institutions or
I
some stuff
guess
like that.
because it worked. I was just like, ugh, like.
I'd like to think about at least maybe he was trying to go for that instead of just being a friggin' creeper.
Yeah, because that is a really weird scene.
It just is.
At this point, I of course skipped the part where she's grabbed the paperclip earlier when she was being interrogated and all that. But we all saw her grab the paperclip. It wasn't it's right there. I knew she was going to. I mean, she's smart. We already know that, and we know that she's had training and planning for doomsday, basically. Mm-hmm. So I know she's going to be able to break out of her locks and all that. So part of that was, predictable, of course. Figured they were all going to reunite, be a happy family until the, because we already know John Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger are on the way. We already know that. So did not think that the other Terminator was going to get there first.
So you didn't see like that whole showdown coming like that?
No. I figured it would come afterwards. I figured she would escape from the mental institution. They'd pick her up, whatever. They'd be on the run for a little while before he came up there. Not realizing no, he's going to be there before she even gets a chance to break out.
Great T-1000 scenes too, where he's he's the floor and then he replicates the security guard and just.
That was my note. The floor is a nice hiding spot for the Terminator. Yeah. I did not see that coming. That was really well done. After I just got done talking about, well, this is kind of predictable. I know she's going to do this. Well, I didn't see that one coming. So, side note. Didn't want to be distracted by this, but was distracted by this. The more I thought about it, the more I realized you have to do scenes like this in movies. Otherwise, the story is not going to continue, or it's going to stall out at a spot that it shouldn't. But my notes said that I didn't like it when Sarah's trying to escape and has that key ring full of keys and just happens to grab the right key each time, effortlessly opens the door. This is definitely not happening. It does not matter how many times you have watched people open doors and all that. If you have more than.
What if they were labeled? You just can't see the label.
Just no. Even at that, if they are labeled, to make sure you put it in the right way and, it's not tricky. No, keys and locks and all that kind of stuff get difficult, whatever. She would have been caught.
You bump into the weirdest stuff. I'm telling you.
I know. And as it happened, I was like, just ignore it, just ignore it, just ignore it. Because again, if you showed her fumbling with the keys, it would have just derailed the entire movie. But for whatever...
Right, you can only fumble for so long.
Yeah.
To make it suspenseful before it's like, come on.
Yeah. And not only that, but then if she fumbles anymore, the guy's right there. Yeah. She's going to die. And that's just going to be the end of the movie. So you can't have that. But I could not get my head around this, and maybe it's just I don't know. I don't know why it was, but I understand that to keep the scene moving, it's just got to go that way. But man, just make it one key on that key ring. The key opens all the doors or something. I don't know. Just seeing her just all good to go kind of thing. I got caught up in it.
Well, nowadays you got key fobs and swipe cards, so you're fine.
Yeah, so nowadays I don't have to worry about that. Thank God.
Don't worry, the keys won't hurt you anymore.
You're right. I do get hung up on the dumbest things, but I really had to
I wouldn't go with dumbest. It's just the most random stuff.
I had to mentally tell myself don't worry about it. There is no realistic way to portray this without completely ruining the entire movie.
Fantastic.
All right. So anyways, I didn't like that she didn't have to fumble with her keys like a normal person would. But, that's movie magic there. So Sarah Connor's monologue about the Terminator being the best dad for John and how it would never leave him or get drunk or hit him and all that stuff. That was kind of weird. I was not a fan of that.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what they were going for, but it just seemed weird, he doesn't need the perfect dad and all that kind
She
of
wasn't
stuff.
saying that she wanted him to be his dad.
I felt like it wasn't needed, you know. I feel like that monologue did not need to be there. There's another time later in the movie where they're at the lab guy's house.
Yeah.
And she starts going
Miles
off.
Bennett Dyson.
Yeah, and she starts going off about like all you know about is destroying life. You've never cared for life. You've never created life and all that. And it was just kind of like,
well, she's crazy.
Yeah, and luckily, John says something about it and goes, calm down, whatever. But
we need to be a little more constructive here.
Yeah, but it was just there was a couple times where I felt like the movie was trying to get way too deep.
Well,
and
James Cameron is James Cameron. I mean, you can find that in pretty much every one of his movies.
Yeah, but that was a little too much. Where I'm like, it's a movie, stop it. But then again, I get all deep about keys, so who am I to say?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so they go to the lab place to blow everything up.
Yep.
Okay, so
Skynet.
Yep, they already went into that guy's house. She already shot him. That whole freaky scene.
Well,
where
what's become Skynet? I can't
Yeah.
remember what the hell the name of the company was called.
I don't remember.
Cyberdyne.
Okay, well, that's what it was. But yeah, so she shoots the guy, and then she's in the house, and she's got the gun pointed at him to try to kill him and everything, and then she's crying and whatever, and they talk, and they all decide, okay, let's just blow up everything, let's get rid of the information, and make sure nobody can work from the information that I have already started, and the research that I've done, and all that. So they go to the lab place to blow everything up. Glad the Terminator kept his word about not killing everyone. And he's just like shooting everybody in the legs, which
love it.
Was interesting.
Yeah.
Again,
odd comic relief in
yes.
it just is.
But it worked.
All over that. There's a couple of those scenes, like when they're trying to get through the one door and they're like, my key. He's like, my key doesn't work, and Arnold's like, let me try mine. It just blows a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Some weird comic relief in there.
I feel like that was needed though.
Yeah.
Because there's levity. A lot of intense scenes. And again, the few times where it starts getting kind of deep and whatever, like you need something to kind of balance the entire movie out. So now you got the Terminator and the Connors are on the run after, they've done all their explosions and all. There was a lot of
that lab scene is just great.
But there's just so much of like in-depth explosions, shooting scenes, and all that kind of stuff. And then they're on the run, and it's a long chase scene again. And I get all the extra stuff with the helicopter and whatnot, but it just...
How about when the helicopter's chasing them and they're in the pickup truck or something like that, and he just hits the brakes and smashes the helicopter. It's just great.
There are some interesting, great moments in the chase scenes.
You gotta suspend, reality when you're watching. I mean, we're talking about killer robots and time travel.
That's fine.
So.
I don't care. You can have all those explosions and all that kind of stuff that don't necessarily make a lot of sense. But it's just, again, kind of drawn out.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like... the lab core, whatever, explosions and all that. I was like, okay, I'm ready for the next scene. And then the next scene was this chase scene that I'm like, all right, I'm ready for the next scene. And the chase scene just, I felt like the end of the movie really dragged.
Well, the end of the movie is a chase scene, basically.
Yeah, but like that entire situation from the moment that they get to that research facility or whatever to the end of the movie, it could have been 10-15 minutes, and I feel like it was 30.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me either, but it felt long.
They drag out the whole it is the whole scene in the what is it, like a steel foundry or some junk like that.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Arnold's been stabbed, he's dead. He's
that
powered
T-1000
down.
does a number on him.
Yeah.
Just rips him right up.
But now he's powered down and everything, and now has backup power and all that comes back, and more chasing of the Connors, and it just, the ending lasted a little long for me. And then when Arnold Schwarzenegger's got to get rid of that last chip, which is in his brain, uncomfortable scene as he's being lowered into, basically molten metal.
Yeah.
And him and Sarah are just making eye contact as he's slowly being lowered into this thing.
He's just a robot.
Yeah, but why is she staring back like that? She should turn around.
Well, she had to make sure he got all the way in. She had the button.
I guess, but I was like, okay, and we don't need to see. I get the idea. He's in there. It's fine.
He's in there.
It just,
you've got to make sure he was completely gone, because then otherwise,
I mean, John was watching. It's fine.
What else you got? Is that it?
No, that was my last note. Again, towards the end, the last scenes dragged a little bit for me, and I did have a hard time with them. I was ready for the movie to end.
We've got at least one more James Cameron movie for you. You've seen Avatar, you've seen Titanic, right?
Yeah.
And all that. We've got to get to True Lies eventually. That'll probably be
I didn't know that was him too.
The final James Cameron movie. Yeah, James Cameron and Arnold.
Okay.
That is just a really weird '90s staple that we'll get to. But T2 and True Lies. So Terminator 2. That's your basically introduction to old school Jimmy Cameron.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I don't know. His stuff is just it's intense. I think that's a good way to put it. Even Titanic, it gets intense.
I mean, there was so much, and I had so many different thoughts throughout the entire movie where I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind a movie like this. And then I was like, oh, not really. And then I was like, oh, no, okay, that was a great twist. Like, I felt like I would feel one way about a movie, and then about the movie, and then the next scene would change that. Like when I mentioned earlier, where it was predictable that she was going to get out of there, and then all of a sudden the other Terminator shows up, which wasn't predictable. So, like, I felt like I was guessing wrong about this movie the entire time,
so
which is a good thing.
You gotta just let it come to you. Like, don't worry about guessing,
Well, not necessarily like guessing the next scene. I mean, more of like, more like guessing how I'm going to feel about it, where it's like, oh, I think this is going to be funny because, somebody said something funny earlier. And then it's like, oh, no, it doesn't. It's not a funny movie.
Ah, right. Okay. Are you ready for your review questions?
No, actually, not this time around.
Did you like it?
All in all, yes.
Okay. And, good, because it's Terminator 2, man.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Fun is one way to put it.
That is, we don't have to get all Siskel and Ebert on, how.
Pretty sure they don't spend 20 minutes yelling about keys.
Well,
so
I don't remember exactly how Siskel and Ebert were, but I know that they can get nuts.
All right. Well, good to know I'm in good company.
So you got a yes for did you like it?
Yeah, I will give it a yes.
Okay. What did you know about Terminator 2 Judgment Day going in?
I knew that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. I knew he was a robot. That's about it. Yeah.
All right. Your thoughts going into Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna like it.
Yeah.
Again, first of all, it's robots. Again, we
AI.
know how I feel about that kind of stuff. So, not a fan, not interested to begin with. The fact that older action movies too fall into that kind of category where it's got to be done just right to keep my attention. Again, I got bored through all the chase scenes by the end. So I felt, that I was just not going to like this movie, and it was just going to be too much for me, basically.
Have you ever seen the movie Ronin?
No.
So I can't remember if that's late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. If this is the movie I'm thinking of, there's about a 45-minute car chase scene in that movie.
Nope, I would get up and walk away at that point. I really would. Like, getting something to keep my attention to begin with is hard enough. And so, a lot of times with these movies that we review, like, I have to remind myself, no, pay attention to the movie,
Yeah.
because a lot of times I do want to get up and I want to go do something else. So if the movie makes it so I can easily do that, then obviously I'm not going to like the movie.
Of course.
I need something to keep me engaged.
It's that TikTok generation.
Yeah,
The
it's
short attention span.
It's there. It really
Just can't
is.
sit anymore.
Nope.
All right. Next question. What surprised you about Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
I would say the funnier scenes, the moments where Arnold would make you laugh, kind of thing. Didn't I didn't expect any of that. Like, I've heard the lines before and all
Hasta
of
la
that.
vista, baby.
Yeah, but there were certain scenes where it was just like, that was good. I didn't think I was going to get any of that. I figured, no, it's all been played out. I already know and all that.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad that you did like it because, that makes it a lot more fun instead of if you were just sitting through,
struggling.
struggling through some piece of crap movie, you know what I mean? Hopefully we can avoid stuff you just absolutely hate. That's the thing about the Under a Rock reviews is that we're mining, pun intended, we're mining the good ones, the good stuff, and we're making sure you've seen these good movies that are beloved. So,
and I think
hopefully we don't run into too much of that.
I think that's what helps. These are beloved movies already.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure there are going to be a few ones that I mentioned that are a struggle to get through.
Sure.
That's just a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, and we're going to have to, like we've talked about before, the dramas will have to be kind of spread out pretty good. So, hopefully, but hopefully you dig those too. So, let's see here. Would you have liked it more or less if you saw it when you were younger?
That's a tough one.
If you saw it when you were like 13.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think I'd like it younger.
Okay. It'd be harder to follow, or you wouldn't have followed it.
Yeah, and again, once that chase scene got too long for me, I would have been up and out.
Would have been gone. That's terrible. All right.
This time I can at least tell myself that it is going to end soon.
What was your favorite part?
Favorite part. I would probably say
Nothing jumps right out at you? Or are you trying to choose?
Well, there's two things that I keep going back and forth between where the phone booth scene, because again, I thought that was really well done.
It's a good choice.
And the when Sarah Connor is breaking out of the mental institution and the Terminator is the liquid floor, basically.
Yeah.
Again, just because that was so much of a, I just didn't see that coming. I didn't see him coming to the mental institution, so like that caught me really off guard. But I think I'd have to go with the phone booth scene.
Good choice.
Just because of how it's done, and then when he's like, "Give me the phone," and then he starts talking in his voice, and it's just like I didn't see any of that happening. So that was like a complete surprise around, and it was, it was a story right there, the story in between everything.
Yeah. Well, cool. And that's, one of the better parts, too. So I'm glad that you like that, and that's a good choice. We know your least favorite part, of course, is probably the keys.
The keys is up there.
I don't think we got to go down that hallway again.
That, and again, where I felt like the movie was trying to get deep, the, second monologue that Sarah Connor does, and the yelling about creating life thing. I'm just not a fan.
Okay. Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it ever?
It would depend on the person.
Yeah?
It would. On the idea of, hey, this is a movie that you should watch because everybody has seen it. Sure.
So, yeah.
My close friends who maybe knowing them a little bit better than knowing that they wouldn't care, definitely not going to be like, nah, you got to sit through it. You got to see it. Which a few people come to mind where I'm just like, I wouldn't. tell them not to worry about it.
What a random person who's never seen it that you're having a conversation at a party or something like
Yeah,
that. You're like,
actually,
you gotta,
sure.
okay.
Check it out.
Okay. Let's see here. Would you watch it again?
Possibly if it's on.
So would you stop and watch it if it's on TV?
Sure. Like if it's on and whatever, we're not watching anything else. Sure.
That's exactly
That's
how
fine.
you watch Terminator 2. By the way.
Yeah.
And-
It's not something I'm going to go seek out.
Right.
Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you happy you watched it?
Yeah, because there's enough mentions of Terminator and all that kind of stuff you definitely want to know all those references.
Lots of them. I don't even remember what we were watching the other day, and there was references to it, and it was just like, wow, we're about to watch that movie. So
Yeah.
there you go. So, all right, well, cool. That is the Under a Rock review of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I think we did okay, considering. I mean, the action movie genre isn't exactly your number one choice either. So
No.
I think we might even do better with some dramas than some action movies.
Yeah, and I
honestly.
mean, it just depends on, and I hate to say that because I feel like there's no rhyme or reason to it, but some movies just draw me in,
Well, of
and
course.
it's, I'm going to love the movie, even if it's a stupid movie. And I always go back to Sandra Bullock's All About Steve. She won a Razzie for that movie.
Yeah.
It is an awful B movie. And I absolutely love it. Like, I would watch that over and over again. I think she's just the cutest thing in that movie. I think it's a funny story, and I don't understand why people think it's so bad. But there was something that drew me in right away to that movie, and I love it. So some of these movies where it's going to be, or like Hocus Pocus, I don't see what that huge draw with that movie is.
Yeah, it's the nostalgia
I didn't
factor.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's overhyped, and I just have no interest in it. And like that was one, and I believe we mentioned it, that no, I don't need to see that again. I wouldn't recommend that to other people to watch. You don't need to get those references that people put everywhere with that movie. It just
Well, there's not as many in Hocus Pocus as something like The Terminator or
Correct.
The Shining or,
Yes.
E.T. and Ghostbusters and stuff like that. So at least you like, I'm happy you like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
If you don't get down with Hocus Pocus, that's totally fine.
But I mean, all in all, we're gonna find some movies where it's like, hey, no, I don't like this, or I really love
course.
this, and maybe I really love a movie that just wasn't really that great, but for whatever reason draws me in, and once you like it, you like it. So
That's right.
we'll see.
All right. Well, officially, Naomi's on the record of liking Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So there you go. The Under a Rock reviews will continue next week. No idea what decade we're going to, what movie we're going to,
Nope.
or what have you. But we do have homework for you between now and then. What is your old person trait? Is it just not being able to handle watching people use keys in movies? Or is it, something with modern technology or what have you? You heard the examples.
It should have been like a key slider thing,
It
that
was
would have just.
it was actually released in 91. So, I mean, using a credit card to
Didn't
open a door.
hotels have those things at that point?
I do not believe so, no. Using a credit card to open a door in 1991 would have been as futuristic as the T-1000, I
Well, they
believe.
could have done that because, again,
They
futuristic.
could have done that anyway.
I
It's just amazing where you can't suspend, reality for a few minutes. Terminator
Listen,
that's made
no,
of metal
no.
walking through the bars is totally
fine.
acceptable.
That's fine.
But the fact that maybe she had seen these keys used over and over again, just not acceptable whatsoever.
I think the problem is because I have a key ring that has about 20 keys on it.
Yeah.
And I know exactly to what each, so all the keys look the same, but I know where each one goes.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that, I still fumble with them sometimes. And I use these every day.
It's still it's 2023. You're not used to using keys until you started having to use these.
You can
keys
make whatever
recently.
excuse that you want.
But if you were in the era of keys, you'd be fantastic. I love it. See, this is why it's okay, because even if she doesn't like a movie, it's for some weird ass reason like that.
It is, because that will take me out of the movie.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It will too, where it's like, okay, pause it, I gotta write this down. And I just know that you're going,
It's
like,
something stupid.
I know it's
Yeah.
negative, and it's like, that's not why we're watching these, but okay.
But it's worth mentioning.
It
let me just say.
absolutely is,
Yeah.
because we're gonna have years and years of fun with this one. I'm not going to be able to get into the apartment door. You realize this. The next time I go to open the apartment door and be like, are you mad because I can't get to the keys fast
Well, I'm
enough?
just going to look at you and go, see?
All right on. That is episode 33 and our Under a Rock review of Terminator 2. That was fun.
Yes, thank you for bearing through that one.
I love it. But, we'll see.
Again, I try not to get distracted by that stuff, but between that and then the snow scenes in Gremlins was driving me nuts, where they just basically spray painted trees with leaves on it. I mean, the leaves are green as
Under a Rock reviews with set critiques and everything.
Hey,
you get the whole 9 yards.
I talked about the music and background
next
noises.
Week, in the review questions next week, I'll put, what did you think of the set pieces? Was the visual effects okay?
But hey, we had to mention the visual effects. Honestly, in Ghostbusters.
Should I put a question in that's like, what ridiculous thing did you bump into in this one?
Yeah, I think you should. That way it doesn't get lost in the middle. Because I always...
Then
it's
you
something
won't tangent for
yes,
one?
Yes. Well, I'm not going to lie. There was like a paragraph about keys in here.
Do we want the tangents? Let us know. Do we like the tangents about the weird
No, it probably
things
takes
like that?
away from the movie. I just need to stop and grow up.
I love it.
I think. I don't know.
Fantastic.
We'll see what happens. It depends on what the next thing is that sets me off, I guess, in the next movie. In real life, they would not be doing this. Yeah, I know. It's a movie.
But Metal Robot, totally fine.
Yeah. Well, that was Terminator.
Oh,
That's
man.
cool.
Tell your friends, Luke and Naomi on air.
They're dumb.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on Amazon now.
Yep.
I'll get
everywhere.
back to YouTube eventually, but I got to do them in order, and I got to get that one video up. So
you still haven't done that?
yeah. Hey, you're more than welcome to edit the video for me if you'd like. All right,
not
so I'll get to it when I do.
Okay.
But you can still hear all the episodes everywhere you get your podcasts, and Amazon too, and Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts.
All right, it's that time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day. That's
beautiful.
No,
I liked it. I loved it.
I should have stopped years ago when he would complain about it when we were on the air.
I miss Snickers complaining about your singing. There's a perception that you just can't invent a word, and yet hundreds of thousands of them have been invented.
Yeah. That's deep.
Think about that. Think
That's
about
deep.
that for
now
a minute.
who's getting deep?
Well, James Cameron had rubbed off, I guess.
There you go.
You gonna leave us with a laugh?
I am going to do my best.
What do you got?
This is a very 90s specific one, but my wife asked me to stop singing the song Wonderwall. I said maybe.
No.
Yes. Yes. If
You
the
know
song,
it. Everybody is singing it in their head right now.
gonna be the one that saves me. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
All right.
What do you call a fat psychic?
I don't know.
A fortune teller.
Oh my gosh. That's messed up.
Love it. Thanks for the book of dad jokes, Brian. The 100 greatest dad jokes of all time, Victor Jr. Really appreciate it. These have been just perfect.
Amazing. Yes.
Absolutely amazing. All right, we'll see. We'll see you. We'll talk to you next week for episode 34. Another good number.
Yeah, I like that number. When you went on your whole rant earlier today about loving the number 33, I
Patrick
was
Ewing.
like, huh, that's funny because next episode is 34, and I'm drawn to that one.
Patrick Ewing from the New York Knicks. That's why I like 33. One of the reasons.
Right.
Okay, talk to you next week. Have some fun this week. Be excellent to each other.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.